Welcome, Drew. Glad to have you on for the second time. We were back before the show started. We were literally just sitting here talking that you are within the top 5 at least
Right.
shows. And we have Drew Ellis with us. He is the sales and operations manager. He's the go-to guy.
Yep.
For Atlanta Hustle.
Yep.
Which is the ultimate Frisbee.
Yep.
Professional team.
Professional.
So you kind of told us about yourself in the last time. If you want to highlight that, but tell us the big news about Frisbee.
Yeah, I'll start with a couple big news. This was a really big offseason for the Atlanta Hustle. The big news, one, that we can actually use the term Frisbee. Prior to this offseason, we were only allowed to use ultimate disc, which
disc golf. That's all.
Disc golf.
When you first coming,
yeah.
I thought it was disc golf.
Yeah, and that's the big confusion is when I used to come and say, "Hey, I'm from the American Ultimate Disc League." A lot of people were like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. You guys have a disc golf league." But no, we are Ultimate Frisbee, and finally this offseason we are allowed to use the term Frisbee, which was owned by another company, which our league bought. So now we are the Ultimate Frisbee Association, which allows us to talk about our sport more freely and what it's commonly known by, the popular culture.
So with you owning the word Frisbee, do you also own the actual Frisbee products that are manufactured?
What we do is we own the trademark for the name Frisbee. So yes, we're allowed to manufacture our own Frisbees and use the word Frisbee. That was bought from a company called Whammo. So now we're allowed to use the trademark word. We're going to create our own Frisbees. We're in the process of doing that. But right now, the league actually has new Frisbees that will be used with the teams for this season.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because kind of what I guess you could correlate if you're into products like Kleenex and tissue,
Right.
And so now you're the official Frisbee.
Yep. So this summer, our overall goal is in the summer times when kids are throwing Frisbees, they'll be throwing UFA officially branded Frisbees, which will give us more aligned to our league and get more people aware of what Ultimate Frisbee is.
Well, when you win the championship this year, we need to get the team to sign a Frisbee so we can hang it up in here.
Look, James, when we win the championship this year, we hope to not only do that, we want to have a parade throughout the streets of DeKalb County. So me and you need to talk about that after the show. Cool. But yes, that's what we want to do. But we will definitely have that Frisbee sign.
Well, let's back up to the show. Tell us a little bit about what is the Atlanta Hustle for anyone that didn't catch the first show.
Yeah, the Atlanta Hustle, as I mentioned, the Ultimate Frisbee team. Ultimate Frisbee is one of the fastest growing sports in America. It's a fast sport, very fast pace. I liked how one of our players phrased it. He was a former football player. When he got introduced to the sport, he was told that it's kind of like flag football, but with a Frisbee. The way that I like to kind of tell people what it's kind of similar to lacrosse in a way as you're moving the Frisbee down the field, but then there's elements of football as well where you've got to cross a goal line, where you can make exciting plays, diving catches. You can, what the kids today call moss, you can jump over somebody and catch the Frisbee. So definitely a lot of exciting elements of the sports that you love, and we combine that into Ultimate Frisbee.
It is a fast-paced sport.
Yes.
It's almost like it has absolutely no rules, but we know it does. But when you're watching it, it's very, very cool. I've been to like 3 of them last year.
Right.
And it was a lot of fun, and you host some great tournaments, and you make it fun for the spectators.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about where you are.
Yeah, this team this year, we'll back up to last year. So
Okay.
Last year, we were 10-2 regular season. We have 12 regular season games, 6 home games. We were undefeated at home. So we never lost a game at Silverbacks Park. We were the number 1 seed out of the east side of our conference. And we actually, unfortunately, lost in a double overtime game, one of the most exciting games in Ultimate history. Unfortunately, lost in double overtime, but even though we had that heartbreak, we're coming back stronger than ever for this year, bringing back a mix of players, mix of veterans as well as newcomers to our team, and we're just ready to go. We're excited. One of the other things that we have going on for this year is we have a new television partner, Peachtree Sports Network, which is part of Gray Television. That's your Peachtree TV, where you can see the Falcons play during their season. We'll actually be on Peachtree Sports Network for our home games. We'll be all live, and then our away games will be tape delay. So that's one of the exciting developments for our team this year. And we're just excited to be able to show the masses in Metro Atlanta and all over the state of Georgia about Ultimate Frisbee and the Atlanta Hustle.
So you play. So you're gonna have. They have an opportunity to watch the game on Peachtree TV, Peachtree Sports, but you have your actual stadium home is Silverbacks Park.
That's correct. Silverbacks Park, Doraville, Georgia. Our wonderful facility, going to be our third year there. They're great partners for us. And, our crowds are amazing. We have the best home field advantage in Ultimate Frisbee in our league, and we like to keep it that way. It's a fun, exciting atmosphere for our players. For our fans, we put on a great show, and we're just excited to be at Silverbacks Park for our third year.
Well, the nice thing when you come out there is a good family atmosphere. Yeah. You have plenty of seating, a lot of parking. It's got a restaurant right there where you can get burgers and hot dogs and Cokes, and for the adults they have beer and all, and then you got the King of Pops and all these different things. So it's a great family atmosphere. It's before it gets really too hot.
Yep.
So it's just a fun place to come out and enjoy a great game. And 2 hours, something like that?
Yeah, 2 hours, very fast-paced game. So, I'm glad you mentioned King of Pops. That's something that we're proud of our partnership with King of Pops. Fans love it, but on the same token, our games, like you mentioned, are very exciting for the fans. There's a lot to do, whether you're an adult or a kid. One of the things that we like to tell people is the most interaction you'll have at a sporting event. Halftime, instead of other games where you're watching halftime activities, a performance, you actually get to come out on the field and throw the Frisbee while the players are in their locker room. It's amazing to sit in the stands and look at the fans just throwing Frisbees with their families. It's a great event, great atmosphere. And that's something that you don't get to do at other sporting events, and something we pride ourselves on.
That is cool to watch just the people down there playing. But you don't want to underestimate King of Pops, because you all gave us this card for get a King of Pops the next time we came.
Right.
My son had to come to the game so he could get the King of Pops. I'm not sure how much he watched the game. He's on his phone reading.
Yep.
But he came to get the King of Pops. So, I mean, you can't underestimate that.
No,
it's
you
kind
can't.
of funny.
Especially in the summertime. It's hot. You want to have a King of Pops in your hands.
Yep. So tell us any big events you have going on. I mean, I know you can go down on the field and all. You talked about that, but I know we were talking before the show started. You do have an HBCU night.
Yep.
So if you want to talk about that or other nights you have.
Yeah. One thing about our games is every game is a theme night. We like to have it fun and exciting for the fans to kind of give something extra to, make you excited to come to the game. So our season opener is May 4th. So naturally, we do May the 4th night, which is a tie-in with Star Wars, which really is it's comical because the team that we play is a New York Empire. So it's kind of a good first evil because we call them the Evil Empire. They've won 2 straight championships, haven't lost in 2 years. Yep. However, their last loss came here in Atlanta. So they're 0-1 in Atlanta. So we're hyping that game up. And we have Heroes Night, our next game on the 7th of June. So celebrating first responders, your police, your firefighters, your nurses, and obviously your men and women in the military. And then, as you mentioned, the following night, we have on the 14th, we have our HBCU night, which is also going to be our Atlanta night, where we're going to be celebrating Atlanta culture, everything Atlanta. But we also like to encourage our HBCUs to come out. It's right next to the Juneteenth holiday. So we have been supporting Morehouse Ultimate, which is a program started by one of our owners. So that's something that we're proud of, and we like to give back to the HBCUs. But as you see, some of our other games in July, we're actually going to have a night dedicated to the Chamber of Commerce. That's going to be on July 20th to the DeKalb Chamber of Commerce. So we're going to encourage businesses from the Chamber to come out and fans to come out and see if they can support the Chamber of Commerce and the businesses that they support.
Had to get Frankie out on the field, the director of Chamber. And
you should have him. I think you and Frankie should have a throwing contest, a disc throwing contest during one of our promotions on the field. So,
well, if I can actually walk by then, I might do that. Well, I tell you, I was reading my notes a little late, and I want to hear about this halftime during the Falcons game last year.
Yeah, that was a very exciting event. The Falcons reached out to us and wanted to see if we would be available to do a halftime exhibition. That's something that's been done throughout the league with the teams that have NFL teams in their cities. We actually got to participate in it a couple of years ago with the Carolina franchise at the Carolina Panthers game. So when we had the opportunity to do it at Mercedes-Benz in December, we were over the moon. First thing I want to say, the Falcons were an extremely great host for us. They allowed us to be on the field. As you see, we were part of some of their in-game activities, but the exhibition was fun. We got to be out on the field, show Mercedes-Benz and Falcons fans what Ultimate is about. And the thing that was so amazing was the crowd was so into it. They were cheering off after every big play. Like I remember this one, the crowd just went wild. So it was a great experience. We'll definitely be out there next year again for a Falcons game, but to be able to give our team and our sport exposure on such a grand stage as the Falcons, invaluable experience for us.
Yeah, because just to have 60,000 people getting to know what Ultimate Frisbee, the Atlanta Hustle, that you play at Silverbacks Park, that you are a home team.
Yep.
All of that getting to know there is priceless.
Right. And I like the fact that people at the game can see that there's similarities to our sport in football. We play on the football field. As you see, someone just made a diving play. That's something that you see a defender in the NFL do. So in this play, we could have made a great play there, but it got broken up and the fans were into it. So this was a great experience, and I can't wait to go back next season for the Falcons to do this.
Well, that was cool right there.
Yep.
It's always amazing. I always wonder how in the world the quarterback can know how far to throw like a bomb.
Yep.
But then how you get a Frisbee with the curvature and everything else to go where you want it is amazing to me as well.
One thing you can't see on these highlights is, like you said, the curvature. So when they were throwing the Frisbee, it went into the stands, but came back out into the field.
Yeah.
So the fans could almost touch the disc, but then it goes to where it needs to go onto the field.
Well, like when the quarterback throws, it's usually straight or it's up like a bomb and back down. But yeah, this one you watch it, it really it's not a straight.
Right. No.
Not at those long throws. No. So it's very, very interesting to know how they can get it to where they want it to.
Right. No, they're extremely skilled. When I really joined the organization, I had played Ultimate as a youth, but it was really just recreation, just to have fun with my friends. But to actually see them practice and see how skilled they are, they can throw it where they want to throw it. And that's the most amazing part. They can curve it and it gets to the receiver right in the midsection where you want it. It's just amazing.
So tell us, you got on the notes here, a mascot. What's going to be the mascot?
We are still working on the mascot. We are still trying.
I remember from the first show that you want to wear it.
I definitely did not want to wear it. In my past lives, as an intern in sports, I did get nominated to be in the mascot costume, and I give mascots all the credit in the world. I've been able to have some friends that are mascots in, more. They get everything from me, all the respect in the world. But yeah, we're trying to roll around a mascot. I don't know if we can get that completed by this year, but it's an idea. We're trying to figure out what a hustle mascot would look like. So if you had any ideas, James, we're all ears.
That would be interesting. I have no earthly idea.
Right.
Got to think about that.
But I will say, I don't want to put any promises out there, but we may have a couple of other team mascots at one of our games later on in the season. So we'll keep that little nugget between you and me, James, and the podcast.
That would be
family.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
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 Monica, what kind of mascot can we do?
All I'm thinking is like a frisbee.
We'll have to workshop some ideas.
Yeah.
We'll
What
definitely
was
workshop
it?
some ideas.
Hardee's had a giant star, person in
Yep.
giant star
Yep.
mascot. That'd be interesting. So I know you got some stuff on your paper over here. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I wrote down, you've got a question about new team members. And as I mentioned, as we're gearing up and retooling, we'll like to say, for our title run for this year, one of the things that we want to do as a team to get a mix of veteran. We have a mix of great veteran players, but we also have some new players as well. So, we bring back a bunch of talent. One of our players, Brett Holzmeyer, is actually part of the USA Under-23 national team
Wow.
this year. So that's a big honor for him. Another player that we bring back, Justin Burnett, was the College Player of the Year, the equivalent to the Heisman Trophy for Ultimate. He won that last year. He returns for us this year. But then we got a bunch of new guys. One of the guys, Frankie Fernandez, young guy, 22 years old, was born in Austin, moved here, went to Grady High School, very competitive. He joins our team this year. And then we also have a player from one of our biggest rivals, Indy. Flesher Hare comes to our team. He was a member of our team a couple years ago, went to Indianapolis to play. He returns back. So
Wow.
we bring back, great talent, but we also are infusing our talent with younger, more athletic players. So we're ready for this season, ready for the challenge, ready to play New York, the two-time defending champions, on opening night.
Well, tell me, it is, well, let me ask, is it a college sport? Ultimate Frisbee.
Ultimate Frisbee, and that's a really good question. Ultimate Frisbee is a club sport in college, but it's gaining traction. And as I mentioned, it's also a sport that's played on the world level. There was a push earlier, a couple of years ago, to make Ultimate Frisbee a Olympic sport, and we're still continuing to push. I don't know if you are familiar with flag football and how it became an Olympic sport, but we're trying to follow that same trajectory of getting the world stage to understand what Ultimate is. It's played all over the world. It's big in India, it's big in China right now, and we're trying to grow it here in the United States to make it a Olympic sport. But at the college level, it's more on the club side, but it's big on clubs for colleges.
So have y'all thought about doing a club tournament with colleges to come down?
That's something that we've rolled around. The Ultimate community, it has their club tournaments. Most recently it was in Birmingham, Alabama. That's something that we've talked about. Me in particular, coming into my role, is to bring as much Ultimate as possible to the Metro Atlanta area. So that was something that I've discussed as well. We've got a couple of tournaments that we're going to bring in October that will have club teams not out of college, but club teams throughout our region in the Southeast. But the future of Ultimate is to make it a college sport, and we hope to make Metro Atlanta, DeKalb County, to be the central point of Ultimate here in the Southeast.
So where is the next closest southern city with a professional Ultimate team?
The next closest would be Carolina, will be the Raleigh area. There used to be a team in Tampa. That team folded, and we actually absorbed some of their players. There have been discussions within our league to potentially put a team in Birmingham, Alabama, which has a very strong Ultimate community. There's a strong Ultimate community in Chattanooga and Nashville as well. And it benefits us, right? Because in our division, Carolina is the closest team to us, but the other three teams in our division are in Texas: Austin, Houston, and Dallas. So it would benefit us greatly in terms of travel, in terms of building stronger fan bases if there was a team in Birmingham or Nashville, Tennessee. So we're looking into that. The league's always expanding. There's already 24 teams in our league from coast to coast, from LA, New York, Houston, Chicago, Indianapolis, Pittsburgh. There's 2 teams in Canada. So expansion is always on the league's mind. And I think the next expansion should be in that Birmingham or Nashville, Chattanooga areas.
We're excited you mentioned the league. We're excited you have the ownership group
Right.
coming in October here in DeKalb County.
Right.
So we're so excited to be hosting that. So
Definitely.
we appreciate you working on that. I know it took quite a while
Yeah.
actually to get that
Yeah.
to where they're here. So we love having that.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And that was kind of my goal when we partnered with Discover the Cab is, as I mentioned, to make Metro Atlanta a vocal port for Ultimate. And the first step was to get all the owners together down here in Atlanta, the Metro Atlanta area, and DeKalb County, and see how beautiful it is here, how amazing it is. The league meetings will be in early October, which is great. That's my birthday, by the way, in early October. But as everybody knows, in early October and in the fall here, early fall here in Georgia is beautiful.
So
The
you're
weather's
throwing
great.
yourself a birthday party with the ownership meeting. I like that.
I didn't tell anybody, but yes, on the league dime, I'll be throwing myself a birthday party. But yeah, just having the league come and see the beautiful weather and how amazing it looks here in DeKalb County, Metro Atlanta, in early October, I think will just do wonders for what we can do with Ultimate here.
Definitely. What else you got to talk about?
We could talk about, our schedule. Our schedule is the 3rd toughest in the league. Out of 24 teams, we are the 3rd toughest.
Really?
Yeah.
So so we know the New York team is obviously going to be a
Yep.
major competitor. So who else?
Yep. Our 2 division foes, Austin, who beat us in the playoffs last year. They went to the Final Four, as well as Carolina's always. That's our main rival is Carolina. We finally broke through last year. We hadn't beat them for records in the last 4 years, so we had a better record than them for the first time in 4 years. But also our away trips. We take a trip to Indianapolis, which was a playoff team, and then we take a trip to Colorado, which was another playoff team. So out of our schedule, out of the 12 games that we play, only 2 games that we play are against teams that don't have a winning record or didn't make the playoffs last year.
Interesting. So you
Yep.
really do have a tough schedule.
We do. Toughest in the league, but we have the most talent in the league, and this is a championship team, and we look to bring a title to DeKalb County.
So you've actually been here how many years that you've been playing?
In Metro Atlanta, we've been here 15 years. Not 15, I apologize, 2015. So this is going to be our 9th season, but we've been in DeKalb County for 3.
Okay. That's pretty cool because I didn't hear about you until really after you moved here.
Right.
I guess that's somewhat self-centering on our part. But, we're excited you moved here.
Right. And we were excited too. This DeKalb County gave us an opportunity to put our roots down. As I like to tell people when I tell them about Atlanta Hustle and our relationship with DeKalb County, there's no other professional sports team in this county. Every other county has a professional sports team, whether it's Gwinnett, they have the Stripers. Obviously, Atlanta has the Atlanta teams, the Hawks and the Falcons. Cobb County has the Braves now. So we wanted to make DeKalb County our home because we wanted to be the premier sports franchise here in DeKalb County and grow our roots alongside with DeKalb County. So that was really important to us to be here in DeKalb County, to be in Silverbacks Park, and to be in the community. One of the things that we do that's unique, we send our players out to different schools throughout the community to learn about Ultimate, to grow that fan base as young as possible, elementary school, middle school, etc., to kind of start young. So hopefully we can grow a crop of players, but also grow a crop of fans as well.
Very cool.
Yep.
You got any cool stories to talk about before we close the show?
I'll talk about our training camps. Our coach, Tuba Benson Jaja, is a military veteran, about 10 years in the Marines, and he brings that mindset to our players. But the one thing he talks about is Marines. He says, you're always preparing for war, but also part of that is you're preparing to discipline your life and to make changes. And that's something that he's instilled in our players. And our players are a community. We're a family. We're truly a family. After training camp, it's grueling, but our players hang out together. They go to local restaurants in DeKalb County together. They work out together. They train, have fun. And that's very unique for us. And, the stories I could tell are just based on how our players just interact with each other, based on how our team has just grown tremendously in terms of talent, in terms of, the way we interact with each other and the way we have fun with each other. So some of those stories I'll keep to myself, but I'll definitely say our players love each other. They love the community, and they love the sport of ultimate and growing it. And we're just ready to be a championship team this year.
So real quick, opening game.
Yep.
When is it? Who you're playing? Anything exciting going on so we can get that word out?
Yep. Our season opens on the road on the 27th against Carolina.
So you can watch that on Peachtree TV.
You can watch that on Peachtree Sports Network, or you can also log into our website, which is watchufa.tv. You can watch that as well. But our home opener is May 4th, May the 4th, which will be our game day theme, obviously.
So you're going to have Star Wars and...
We're going to have some connections to Star Wars, maybe some lightsabers out there, but we'll definitely tie it in as much as possible to that day and that theme, as everybody knows what May the 4th means. But that game, May 4th, 7:30 p.m. Against the New York Empire. So
that's where they're going to lose.
They're going to lose their second game in Atlanta, so we're excited about that. So. Yeah, just ready for the start of this season. Get out there, be loud, be proud. We want to fill the stands as much as possible, and to have our team win that game and start the season 2-0, and be ready to win the division and win the championship.
So we know it's at Silverbacks Park.
Yep.
You can buy tickets where?
You can buy tickets at shop.atlantahustle.com. Individual game tickets are $20. They come with a drink voucher as well. So that's a beer, a beverage, a water. And then children under the age of 13 are free. And that's something you will not see anywhere in Atlanta sports or any sports period. Bring your kids under the age of 13, come in free. They can throw the Frisbee at halftime. We've got Willie B's. As you mentioned, King of Pops will be out there as well. Also, I want to do a plug for season tickets as well. Season tickets are on sale now, starting as low as $149. Get access to all 6 of our home games, King of Pops. You also get a free UFA.TV membership for the season as well. So there's so many perks with season tickets. Single game tickets are on sale now as well for our Super Series game, which is what it's called. That will have the league will be there broadcasting that game as well. So really big game. We want you out there loud and proud supporting the Atlanta Hustle.
Now, if you're wanting to wear Atlanta Hustle to the game, where do you get that?
You also get that at our team store, shop.atlanta.com. Look at our merchandise section. We've got shirts, T-shirts, college shirts, jerseys as well. That's another thing. Great thing you brought that up. We're actually changing our jerseys for this year. New jersey reveal last week, adding lavender into our jersey. Nice little jersey color. Nice ones right there. We'll still have our I guess we'll call them now retro jerseys. We'll have those on sale as well. We'll also have a special jersey for our HBCU game, our Atlanta game, have a Atlanta themed jersey. So we've got a lot of great things, exciting things at our team store as well. So you can look at our team store, shop.atlantahustle.com.
Well, you want to get your outfit and wear it to the opening game against the Rangers?
The New York Empire.
New York Empire. I guess the Rangers is hockey.
That's the hockey team.
So New York Empire.
New York Empire.
Well, Drew, thank you for coming on again.
Awesome.
We'll have to see if you the first one that hits our three level.
We look to come back, so hopefully we're the first to come back next season to talk about hopefully defending the championship.
So that would be cool.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you all for visiting.